Okay, another quick Bitcoin update for you. So what I'm looking at here is very similar to what I posted last week, but there's a few updates. So let's get started. So obviously still have this key level down here around the sort of 18.5 or 18.8K level. Anything below there on a daily close, and I think it's pretty much done. We're going to go and retest the lows, if not lower. What I'm looking at currently after this last move is basically these two big inefficient moves that we've had here. So we had one on the way up and one on the way down. And you can see that this one on the way up has now been fully retraced, and we've pretty much come down to this, or we have come down to this sort of level at the sort of low 19Ks, and basically filled that full inefficiency. Now there is one here, and I'm wondering if we see that also get filled. They normally do, but it may take a little while for it to get there. But anyway, I think that's going to be a key area to keep an eye on. Also, just to note, if you go back to the fib channels that I've been plotting, and I plotted in the last video, you can see here that this 618 level, again, it loves the 618. You can see that we came right down and we've bounced around that 618 golden zone for a while, and now Bitcoin looks like it's getting set up and ready for a bit of a bounce. Maybe that bounce continues this weekend and into early next week before the FOMC, but we'll have to see. Then obviously I'm plotting in here's the 618s, the golden zones from the overall move down, which is where we got tapped and basically fell down. We're currently below the 618, but tapped the 786 on this move down. So just to make note of those, I'll remove them so we don't clutter the chart, and then put on the ranges. So if I take off the fib channels here, you can see these are the ranges I'm looking at the moment. Obviously, we've spent a bit of time in this area. You can see there's a high volume node over here, pretty much from the sort of high 21s all the way down to the high 20s. And then obviously we're in this second range at the bottom here from about the mid 20s down to sort of the mid 19s. And obviously this deviation below here. So looking at those, obviously I've got this area up here where I think if we sort of go up there, and if I add in a few more fibs into this, if we put this in here, you can see that we've got the 618 of this move down in here, which would retrace most of this inefficiency and bring us back into this high volume node, maybe even just slightly above into this area here where there's low volume, and sweep these highs again. Maybe something that sort of takes us a little bit higher up to this area here. But something like that, I think, is very possible. I will, as I say over here, due to the sort of how well these ranges have played out, I think it's prudent that as you move up here, because I think we're going to go lower, that we actually sort of start taking profits on the way. We don't want to get greedy, and we don't want to get sort of caught out and miss all of that profit that we would be taking if we moved up. So that's one of the moves I'm looking at the moment. Obviously, looking at, if I open up the RSI down here, this is my custom RSI that I've written. You can see here on the way up, we had this sort of very sort of slight divergence on every move as it started moving up. I think we're seeing something very similar at the bottom here. As it's moved down, we've got these slight divergences, so it's very similar in the pattern on the way up as it has been on the way down. Let's just shrink that again. And so that's what I'm looking at. One of the other sort of options is a more Elliot wave type style. So you're looking for a correction of this move all the way down here. You would be looking for a 3 waves, and this is very 5 wavy. So I would expect that this here would have this leg here would have an equal leg taking us up for that 3rd wave of this correction. And if you look here, obviously we've got this breakdown point here, which is exactly at the 1-to-1 of this length if you take it from where we are now to where we are there. So that's again a very nice level I'm looking at. It would take us, if I bring back on these fibs from here, let me just sort of move across here. If I was to add in the 786 onto here as well, yeah, see it's around that 786 level, so similar to we've moved down here through the 786, we could equally follow up to there. It's usually a good spot between that 618 and 786 on these sort of rangy moves. And so that's one of the ones I'm looking at. The other option I've got, which is a really boring option, but is quite likely, is this little rangy motion down here. So just get rid of those and put these ranges back on. If you look here, the median of this range here has obviously been a lot of resistance in the past. It's well respected there, respected here, obviously broken through, but it's been respected again here. We could just end up with a whole weekend just stuck in this little pink box until CME opens. And if you look at that, this box here is actually bisected by the Friday close of CMEs anyway in this very high volume node. So we could just be very much up and down in here, which would be perfect for a sort of a grid bot set. So you could just set it going and buy as you go up and sell as you go down and buy as you go up and sell as you go down and make profits all the way. So that's another sort of strategy I use, and I might post a video about that later. Otherwise, I think that's it really. I think we've got a few options there. I think most of them show as a sort of a push back up after all of this move. I think that likely after the FOMC, depending on what comes out, I think we'll probably see more volatility, but then we'll start trending back down. It will probably be confirmation that we're going to see more rate hikes. So that's it for Bitcoin. I hope that helped. If you like these videos, then please subscribe and like it within YouTube, and also follow me on Twitter. Thank you very much.